When you shop online, you scroll through millions of products claiming to be able to solve oddly specific everyday problems. But while most of them look weirdly unnecessary, occasionally you find something so cool you don't understand how you've lived your entire life without it. From portable laser keyboards to coffee-making alarm clocks, let's try out some everyday products that'll change the way you do things forever. Okay, I'm really clumsy and just can't carry a hot drink without spilling it all over myself. So when I saw people on TikTok using the Spill Knot to not only carry drinks, but to whip them around without spilling a drop, I just had to buy one and test it out myself. I filled up a mug of tea, put it on the Spill Knot, and incredibly, it worked. No matter how hard I spun it, the tea stayed in the mug. Ran up and down the stairs with it, no spills. I even went out in the yard and flung it over my head and nothing. And if you're wondering about the weird fish mask, go check out my strangestwish.com products reviewed video. But back to the Spill Knot. How does it work? Well, keeping a vessel rigidly upright with liquid in it means the inertia of the liquid makes it slosh whenever it's moved. But on the Spill Knot, the rubber traction mat keeps the mug on the carrier, while the whole device, not just the vessel, swivels. This means sloshing is almost always parallel to the base of the carrier, preventing any spills. Finally, I can wear white trousers again. Yes! I believe there's a special circle of hell for people who leave the lid off the toothpaste. But with the EcoCo toothpaste dispenser, that's soon to be a pet peeve of the past. You simply insert your tube of toothpaste into the top and stand the unit up or attach it to a wall, and then press your toothbrush into the cavity. This motion compresses the tube, squeezing out the perfect amount onto the brush. Because the tube is kept upright, the product generally sinks down. So even with very little left in the tube, it still works. Now, you might think that this is just lazy, but imagine how this could help people with mobility issues or those that struggle with fine motor control. Suddenly, this seems like a really fresh product. Don't you hate it when you're following a recipe and it asks you to separate an egg? No matter how careful I am, I always end up with yolk in my whites. Fortunately, there's an adorable product that I bought to solve this problem. A chick-shaped egg separator. All you have to do is crack the egg into the top and pour it out through the beak. The whites are strained out of the small opening while the yolk is too big to fit through, leaving you with a perfectly separated egg. Finally, I can make my meringues in peace. Who am I kidding? I'd set cereal on fire if I was left alone in the kitchen. Is there anything more annoying than going to staple something only to find there are no staples left in the stapler? Or worse, it's jammed? Ugh! Well, that's where Plus's staple-free stapler comes into play. Ingeniously, as it punches a hole through the paper, it bends the paper making up the hole back, using the pressure you apply to the device to twist and hold the punched paper together. This creates a staple out of the paper itself. It can work with up to 10 sheets of paper and all without a single staple, meaning it's great for the environment too. Win-win. You know when it's 3 a.m. and you have to turn off all the lights downstairs? Yeah, you're not the only one who hits the light switch and then sprints like Usain Bolt upstairs so that Satan himself doesn't get you. There's literally nothing more terrifying. Thankfully, there's a simple gadget that can save you from this fate. This is the SwitchBot, a mechanical finger that can be adhered to the rocker light switch and controlled through a really simple app. With one tap on your phone, the SwitchBot turns the switch off for you, and with the attachment feature, it works in reverse, pulling the switch on when you need it. Ha! Take that, Satan. It can also be used on different devices like desktops, coffee machines, and even keyboards. Well, working from home is about to get a whole lot easier. I work on the go a lot, and sometimes using the tiny keyboard on my phone to write notes or emails, it gets really frustrating. But this is a game changer. A virtual laser keyboard. All you have to do is connect it to a device via Bluetooth, then put the tiny projector on a flat surface and voila! The laser's tracking beam picks up any movements made within its parameters, translating specific gestures you make into real keystrokes. And because it's virtual, you can change the keyboard's settings to project different key configurations for different languages. It even converts into a piano layout if you want to get musical on the fly. Like that wasn't enough, it also doubles up as a portable charger. Man, is there anything this laser keyboard can't do? Thanks to the COVID pandemic that's plagued the world for the last few years, I, like many others, now carry a tiny bottle of hand sanitizer with me at all times. But I'm prone to forgetting it and often end up losing it. Luckily, the Squeezy Band is here. These super sleek wristbands are designed to hold 15 milliliters of sanitizer, which can be quickly and easily pumped out onto your hands without the need to reach for a bottle. An attached stopper prevents any leakages, and it can be easily refilled whenever you run out. Yeah, take that, COVID. There's nothing worse than taking a swig of your hot beverage only to find it's gone cold. Blech. Well, for all the cold coffee and tepid tea haters out there, the Vobaga mug warmer might be the perfect product for you. With a touch of a button, the device's heat element warms up, and any beverage placed on top is warmed to either a high, medium, or low heat, depending on how you like it. The metal plate is waterproof and the device shuts off automatically after 4 hours, in case you forget to turn it off yourself. This makes it perfect for the bedroom or office. Finally, no more cold coffee spit takes. Now, I hold my hands up and admit that I am not a morning person. I find it so hard to get out of bed, I abuse the snooze button, and I'm useless until I've had my first cup of coffee. That said, Joy Resolve's Beresur alarm clock might become my morning savior. This alarm clock also doubles up as a perfect coffee-making solution, which automatically starts brewing you a delicious cup of your favorite morning beverage 5 minutes before the alarm itself goes off. You simply fill up all the ingredients you need to the night before, set your alarm, and in the morning, you wake up to a freshly made cup of coffee to help encourage you out of bed. Could you give me a minute? I just need to give Joy Resolve all my money. But on the days that not even a good cup of coffee can get me out of bed, maybe Clocky will. Clocky is an alarm clock with a mind of its own. When it loudly goes off, you're allowed to hit the snooze button once, but if you try to abuse the snooze again, this little terror rolls off the bedside table and wheels itself away from you in any direction it can. You have no choice but to get out of bed, find it, and turn it off. The rubber wheels and shock-proof design means that Clocky is incredibly durable and can survive jumps from up to 3 feet high. But the longer you take to get out of bed, the more annoying it gets and the harder it becomes to find. I think I preferred the nice, quiet cup of coffee. Between Clocky and Beresur, which alarm clock do you think would be better at getting you out of bed in the morning? For the Beresur, hit that like button, and for Clocky, hit subscribe. All done? Great. What weird and wonderful product have we got next? When I'm not struggling to get out of my bed, I'm busy reading in it. The only problem is that reading in bed can really cramp my neck. I want to lie down, but holding the book above my face tires out my arms. If only I was rich, I could buy a robot butler to hold up the book for me. Well, instead of a super expensive personal assistant, I can buy an inexpensive pair of Prism glasses. Prism glasses have a mirror inserted into the lens of each eye, which allows you to see things that are 90 degrees to your face. This means lying down in the glasses, you can see straight down your body without needing to crane your neck. Perfect for reading in bed. But if you're lying next to your partner and fancy getting frisky, I'd take them off first. They're a bit of a mood killer from the wrong angle. I really love a hot bath. Helps me feel clean after a long day of scouring the internet for the weirdest facts I can find. Trust me, I've seen things no amount of soap can cleanse my brain of. But what I can do is brighten up my bath time with a rainbow bath bomb. Regular bath bombs are effervescent, meaning their components react with water, fizzing and dispersing over several minutes. While most bath bombs are just lumps of one colored component, these rainbow bath bombs have multicolored components hidden within them. So as the large white coating gradually breaks down, the rainbow set of colors beneath starts to fizz, leaving a rainbow trail behind them as they propel around the bath. Look at them go! And they don't just look good. Once dissolved, bath bombs release citric acid, which helps loosen damaged layers of skin, leaving you feel fabulously smooth. And before I get any snide or derogatory comments below, yes, I do take self-care very seriously. What, you not man enough to use a bath bomb? Enjoy looking 50 when you're 20 then, Chad. But that's not the only rainbow item I have in my life. This is the Spiral Melt, a beeswax candle with a twist, literally. The painted design has a wick built into several colorful layers that spiral around a hollow midsection. Once lit, the wax melts into the middle in a rainbow pattern, forming a separate second candle at the base. When the outer wick is burned up, you can light the wicks in the middle so that no wax is wasted. Now that's one hot design. I hate wasting food. So reaching into a pack of previously opened chips to find they're all soft and crunchless breaks my heart. Even if I use a clip to close the bag, sometimes air still gets in and ruins them. But I'm not destined to eat soft chips forever, because mini heat sealers like this exist. When the bar is pressed closed, the battery-operated heat-sealing wires are triggered, heating up a silicone seal pad at the tip of the clip to around 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This contained heat source is hot enough to melt thin layers of plastic. So as you run it across the open edges of a snack packet, it fuses them together and seals them shut. No more stale snacks for me. There's nothing like an ice-cold drink on a hot day to cool you down. But did you know small cubes melt faster than big cubes? They have more surface area in contact with the beverage, meaning they lose their cool much quicker. So you need big ice cubes if you want your drink to stay cooler for longer. Or better yet, you need spherical ice cubes for that extra touch of sophistication, which you can get from the Cirrus Ice Ball Press. All you need to do is place a block of ice over the bottom of the mold and then slide the top section of the mold onto the two stilts. These gently heated metal blocks then press down on the ice, gradually melting the excess away, shaping it into the perfect orb in a matter of minutes. Once complete, you simply lift the top off and drop your newly formed ice ball into your drink for some super satisfying refreshment. While I do enjoy a well-chilled whiskey, I'm also a man who likes to do shots. You know what I hate though? Warm shots. Blech. Serving tepid liquor should be a crime in my opinion. But recently I found this product online, freezable shot molds. So you can effectively chill the shot in an ice cube before drinking it, with no glasses to clean up afterwards. Obviously, I bought this immediately to test it out myself. I filled the molds with water, froze them, and then cracked them open. This part was a little difficult because the ice is so thick, but it also means they don't break easily, which is a good thing considering how clumsy I am. Out of the mold, I can confirm they're each the perfect size for a super chilled shot. Just pretend you didn't see that. Now, I'm a pretty simple guy at heart. I love a fun gadget, and I love bubbles, which is why this battery-powered bubble Gatling gun feels like it was made just for me. Honestly, the second I saw footage of this thing working online, I was frantically typing in my credit card details. You should have heard how I squealed when it arrived. After loading up the batteries and pouring out the liquid into the specially shaped tub, I dipped the tip of the gun in and pulled the trigger. The fan inside blows at just the right speed to produce a stream of brilliant bubbles and worked just like it did in the footage. Insanely satisfying. I honestly wasn't expecting it to create so many bubbles, but I've never been so happy to be wrong. Finally, I get to live out my dream of being Neo in the Matrix saving Morpheus, just with bubbles instead of bullets. If, for whatever reason, I end up lost in the wilderness, I'd be completely useless. I can hardly handle camping, let alone surviving off my wits. However, there's a product that's been designed for wildlife-incompatible people like me, the Life Straw. This tiny personal water filter contains a micromembrane microfilter capable of sifting 99.99% of bacteria, parasites, and microplastics out of any water. This means you can use it to drink straight from rivers and streams without catching anything deadly from them. So with the Life Straw, avid campers don't have to worry about finding a safe water source, and hikers and backpackers can swap out their heavy water supplies for one lightweight tube. Plus, the long-lasting filter can handle roughly 1,000 gallons of water. That's more than an average person drinks in 5 years. Suddenly, the great outdoors doesn't seem so daunting. Alright, I'm not saying this next product is life-changing, but if you asked me if I think everyone on Earth should own a pair, I'd say yes. You ready? Lightsaber chopsticks. I fully admit that these are more of a novelty than a must-have, but the allure of eating with 2 tiny lightsabers was too much for me to ignore, so I bought some. They came with batteries already included, so all there was left to do was hit the buttons and... Aw, yeah. They're just small LED lights set into 2 clear plastic cylinders, but they made eating this bowl of nuts feel otherworldly. I mean, they're almost cool enough to distract you from the fact I clearly can't use chopsticks very well. Have you ever made a cup of tea or coffee, added in your milk, and then realized you don't have a clean spoon to stir it with? One of life's annoyances. If only the mug could stir itself. Wait, have my prayers just been answered? Is this a self-stirring mug? I ordered one just to make sure, but this thing is legit. The battery-operated vessel contains a detachable magnet impeller at the bottom of the mug. When it's turned on, a magnetic field in the mug's base is activated, spinning the impeller and creating a vortex that mixes the drink in the cup. Well, at that speed, it might just be the best mixed mug of tea I've ever had in my life. So I'm a little paranoid about being robbed. I own a safe, and everything in my home is very well insured. But I still don't like the idea of someone stealing things that are important to me, like family heirlooms and my passport. But what if I could hide these things in plain sight, like this? Can you see where I've hidden Nana Amazed's precious pearls? They're right there in this dictionary, or should I say this specially designed Sterling safe can. This can is just a shell with a fake bottom that's big enough to fit in a few precious personal objects. Once the bottom's in place, though, nobody's going to know it's a fake unless they rip through my bookshelves. Not exactly the first place a thief looks. So rest easy, Nana Amazed. Your pearls and that thumb drive with all that weird Harry Potter fanfic you wrote and asked me not to tell anyone about are safe now. How do you cut pizza? Do you use a pizza cutter, a big knife, or are you one of those heathens that cuts it with kitchen scissors? Honestly, I don't understand you people. But if you use these pizza scissors from Dream Farm, then maybe we can get along. These are specially designed scissors that can cut pizza on any surface without scratching it. The pivot point of the scissors is angled up to keep the handle and your hand out of the cheese. And once you've cut it, the sleeve on the bottom scoops underneath the pizza and lifts it onto the blades so that you can continue to cut across. Suddenly, the idea of cutting pizza with scissors doesn't seem that bad to me. There's nothing quite as annoying as lighting a match and then watching a breeze as weak as a bee's fart blow it out. It's infuriating. But with these amazing storm-proof matches, not even 1,000 bee farts could put this flame out. You think I'm kidding? Well, I bought a set and put them to the test. Look. Even when I try to put them out with a gust from a hairdryer, they keep reigniting. How's that possible? Well, the head of most matches is made from white or red phosphorus. When this is hit with enough friction, it sparks, causing the wood of the match to ignite. But stormproof matches have a wax coating over the wood, which gradually burns away. If the flame goes out, the wooden matchstick will keep smoldering beneath the wax coating. It continues to smolder until it's totally starved of fuel to burn or is exposed to oxygen again, where it reignites. This means it can be stamped on, covered in earth, dunked in water, and the match will remain lit. Now that is cool. But it might be overkill if you're just trying to light a few candles on a birthday cake, though. So by this point, I like a neat gimmick product. And that's exactly what this next thing is. A soap pump for the dish sponge. The pump is pleasingly shaped to specifically hold a sponge. Once soap has been poured onto the bottom section of it, a few pumps down is more than enough to apply the soap you need directly to the sponge. I hate doing dishes as much as the next person, but this little gimmick almost makes it worth it. My favorite part of any meal is dessert, which probably explains why I'm a few pounds heavier than I want to be. But fortunately, this device can help me cut down on all the calories I'm consuming from sweets while still giving me a sugar fix. It's a frozen fruit dessert making machine. All you need to do is plug it in, pour your selection of frozen fruits into the top, and plunge it down. It makes the perfect sorbet in seconds. Or if you want something a little creamier, add in a banana for a more ice cream-like texture. Finally, I can have my cake and eat it too. Well, sorbet. Now, some fruit you can cut quite intuitively, but others, like pineapples, can pose a bit of a problem. Taking the top and bottom off before skinning it, chopping it, and then cutting out the core can be a real hassle. But not if you have this 3-in-1 pineapple corer, cutter, and slicer. Trust me, I bought one. All you have to do is take the top off the pineapple, align the serrated coring hole over the core, and twist. The angle of the blade spirals down into the pineapple, and when you reach the bottom, you simply pull out one perfect pineapple coil. That's all of the fruit with almost none of the normal hassle. Oh man, this is gonna taste so good on my pizza. Which of these products do you want most right now? And do you already own any of them? Let me know down in the comments below, and thanks for watching.